to Tales from Africa with our Auntie Angela.
Come on, kids, it's story time. In the heart of Africa, near the mighty Nile River, lay a small village called Kiji. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, tending to their crops and fishing from the great river. They believed in many gods and goddesses who watched over the land, but none was as feared as Nyah, the goddess of the Nile. Nyah was said to control the waters, which brought life and abundance, but she could also unleash destruction when angered. Her moods, like the river itself, were unpredictable. One late afternoon, as the golden sun hung low in the sky, a boy named Kofi wandered down to the river bank. He was an adventurous child, always exploring the river's edge, fascinated by its mysteries. That day, something caught his eye. A flash of light beneath the water's surface. Curious Kofi waded in and reached down. His fingers brushed against something cold and metallic. He pulled it out, a stunning gold necklace, gleaming with an otherworldly glow. As Kofi held the necklace up to the fading sunlight, a strange thing happened. The sky, which had been clear moments before, darkened suddenly. A cold wind swept through the trees, and the calm river began to churn violently, as if angered by some unforeseen force. Kofi's heart raced. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. He sprinted home, clutching the necklace tightly. But that night, as he lay in bed, sleep eluded him. His mind kept returning to the strange event by the river. When he finally drifted off, a haunting dream took hold of him. In the dream, the figure of a woman emerged from the swirling waters of the Nile. Her eyes burned like molten gold. Her hair flowed like the river's currents, and her voice echoed with the power of the gods. "I am Nyah, goddess of the Nile," she said, her voice a terrifying whisper. "You have taken what belongs to me. The necklace you hold contains the essence of my power. It binds the river to my will. Return it to me before the next full moon, or your village will suffer a curse that no mortal can escape." Kofi woke with a start, drenched in cold sweat. His breath came in shallow gasps, and his heart thudded in his chest. He knew this wasn't just a dream. Nyah's warning was real, and the necklace was far more than just a piece of jewelry. It held immense power, and now he was responsible for returning it. The next morning, Kofi hurried to find his best friend Amina. Amina was as brave as she was clever, always ready to face any challenge alongside him. As soon as he told her about the dream, her eyes widened in fear, but she did not hesitate. "We must go to Baba Juma," she said firmly. "He'll know what to do." Baba Juma, the village elder, was the keeper of ancient wisdom and stories. He had seen many things in his long life and knew the ways of the gods better than anyone. They found him sitting under the large mango tree at the edge of the village, deep in thought. After Kofi recounted his tale, Papa Juma was silent for a long time, his eyes closed as if listening to some distant voice. Finally, he spoke, his tone grave. "The necklace you found is indeed Nyah's," he said. "It is the key to her power, and now you must return it. But the journey is dangerous. You must travel to the sacred cave where Nyah's spirit resides. Many have attempted the journey, but few have returned. The path is dangerous, filled with dangers you cannot imagine." Kofi and Amina exchanged nervous glances, but there was no turning back now. They had to save their village. The next morning, as the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, Kofi and Amina set out on their journey. The village was quiet, with only the soft rustle of the wind and the distant call of birds to accompany them. Their path led them through dense forests where the trees loomed overhead, casting long shadows across their path. The air was thick with tension, and every rustle of leaves made their hearts skip a beat. As they wore on, they reached the foot of a rocky hill. Beyond it lay the sacred cave, but their journey was far from over. As night fell, the forest around them seemed to come alive with weird sounds. Twigs snapped in the darkness, and strange growls echoed from the shadows. Suddenly, the unmistakable glow of yellow eyes appeared in the distance. A pack of wild animals surrounded the two friends. Kofi and Amina backed up against the large tree, their hearts racing. The animals inched closer, their growls growing louder. It seemed there was no escape. Just as one of the beasts lunged, a flash of light burst through the darkness, binding the creatures. A figure stepped forward, her hands glowing with an ethereal light. It was Mama Zuri, the healer from a neighboring village. Her eyes gleamed with ancient knowledge, and her presence radiated power. "You are far from home, little ones," Mama Zuri said, her voice calm but commanding. "And you carry a burden far greater than you realize." She glanced at the necklace hanging around Kofi's neck. "That necklace binds Nyah's power to the river. It is both a gift and a curse. You must be brave and complete your journey." Grateful for the rescue, Kofi and Amina thanked Mama Zuri, who guided them through the forest until they reached the base of the hill. "From here, you're on your own," she said. "Remember, courage will guide your steps." As they climbed the steep hill, feeling exhausted, they continued, but fear and determination kept them moving. When they finally reached the mouth of the sacred cave, it loomed before them like the entrance to another world. The air inside was cold and damp, and a strange humming sound echoed from deep within. Kofi and Amina hesitated at the entrance, but they knew there was no turning back. Slowly, they stepped inside. The cave walls were covered in ancient carvings, depictions of gods and goddesses, battles between mortals and divine beings. In the distance, a faint glow beckoned them forward. But as they moved deeper into the cave, a low hiss filled the air. From the shadows, a massive serpent, its scales shimmering in the dim light. It coiled around the entrance to the inner chamber, its eyes locked on the intruders. The serpent reared its head, hissing. Kofi's heart pounded. Baba Juma's words echoed in his mind. He fumbled for the necklace and held it high, hoping it would protect them. The serpent hesitated, its eyes fixed on the golden necklace. With a hiss of frustration, it recoiled, slithering back into the shadows, allowing them to pass. They stepped into the inner chamber, where an altar stood at the center, adorned with flowers, jewels, and ancient relics. A soft light bathed the room, and the air felt thick with magic. Kofi approached the altar and placed the necklace on it. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the cave began to tremble. A brilliant light filled the room, so bright they had to shield their eyes. When the light dimmed, Nyah stood before them, her figure tall and regal, her eyes still glowing like the sun. She regarded them with a calm yet powerful presence. "You have done well," she said, her voice echoing through the cave. "You have returned what was stolen, and for that, your village is spared. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. The river gives life, but it can also take it away. Respect the balance or suffer the consequences." With those final words, Nyah faded into the light, and the cave fell silent once more. Kofi and Amina returned to Kiji, where the villagers greeted them as heroes. Baba Juma recounted their bravery, and their story was told for generations to come. But Kofi never forgot the weight of the necklace in his hands, nor the warning from the goddess of the Nile. The river remained a source of life, but it was a power to be respected, a lesson that will live on in the heart of Kiji forever. And that's the end of our story. Here are 5 lessons that can be drawn from this story. 1. With great power comes great responsibility. Nyah's warning to Kofi reinforces the idea that possessing power, whether magical or otherwise, demands a great sense of responsibility. Kofi's decision to return the necklace symbolizes the understanding that power is not meant to be misused or hoarded, but treated with respect. 2. Courage in the face of fear. Throughout the journey, Kofi and Amina encountered multiple dangers: the wild animals, the serpent, and the uncertainty of the sacred cave. Despite their fear, they pressed forward. This teaches that true courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward in spite of it. 3. The importance of friendship and teamwork. Kofi and Amina relied on each other throughout their adventure. Their shared strength and trust in one another helped them overcome obstacles. The story emphasizes that facing challenges together can make even the most difficult journeys easier to bear. 4. Wisdom and guidance matter. Baba Juma's counsel and Mama Zuri's intervention highlights the importance of seeking wisdom from elders or those more experienced. Their guidance helps Kofi and Amina navigate the dangers and mysteries of their quest, showing that wisdom from others can be crucial in achieving success. And finally, 5. Respect for nature and balance. Nyah's role as the goddess of the Nile underscores the importance of respecting the natural world. The river, a source of life, can also bring destruction when not respected. This lesson can be extended to remind readers of the delicate balance in nature and the need to live in harmony with it rather than exploit it. And that's it. Today on Tales from Africa with me, Ijele. I'll see you again soon.